Welcome back to La Hooge and the Yanks, where we talk everything Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Tonight we'll be reviewing the CONCACAF friendly matchup between the United States and Costa Rica, where the United States would take this one 4-0 over Los Ticos from Rio Tinto Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is the home of the MLS side, Real Salt Lake. And tonight, this is basically like a brush-up game just to kind of, it was more so a test, let's just say it that way, a test for the United States to see if they can keep their composure after winning such a major trophy and coming off such a high. And so I stand corrected from what I said earlier too in the last video. I think I said that I thought this lineup from Greg Berhalter was going to be more so a B team, like a Gold Cup matchup, but no, it was more so like A minus B plus team kind of. Basically those that writ the pine during the Nations League, like Giannis Musa, which I'll talk about him, and others. But yes, in this game, speaking of which, Giannis Musa finally played, and there's a reason why Berhalter sat him during Nations League, and I'm going to talk about that now before I even talk about the lineup. And the reason why Berhalter sat him during the Nations League games is because he said that he wanted, he knew there were going to be more opportunities for Musa to get experiences during CONCACAF World Cup qualifying and even other CONCACAF matchup friendlies, should that be. But he wanted to kind of give him a rest, and he told Musa basically like, I don't know, to understand what it's like to play sometimes and not play. But we were just, everybody was lost. Everybody was asking, where's Giannis Musa during the Nations League? He was, because, he's one of the new dynamic midfielders for the United States. But there was no sign of him in the CONCACAF Nations League, but he did appear today in the starting lineup against Los Ticos. And so the United States played a 4-1-2-3 with the hero in the back against Mexico, Ethan Horvath. In the four in the back, Reggie Canyon, Mark McKenzie, Tim Ream, and Anthony Robinson. And then the one center attacking mid, or center defensive mid, Tyler Adams. And he had a real good game this game too. Then we had to Sebastian the Jet, and then Giannis Musa, the question, the guy that everybody's wondering where he's at. There he is. He's on the he was on the left-hand side this game in terms of midfield. Then you had Timothy Weah, Daryl DK, another guy that stood out, and Brendan Aronson, and also another guy that stood out too, all up top. And so basically, we go to the 8th minute of the game where Daryl DK just gets a ball from Anthony Robinson, and it's a beautiful delivery into the box. He shoots, but it's saved, rebounded by Brendan Aronson. He has a crack at it. He shoots and scores. Yanks are already up 1-0 over Los Ticos. It's a dream start for the Yanks. And so far they are passing the test. And I'm going to talk about what that quote-unquote test is in a few minutes after the game summary. Then we go to the 14th minute where Timothy Weah settles himself, tries to have a go, but forces another great save out of the Los Ticos keepers. And then we jump all the way to the 34th minute where Timothy Weah once again rips a shot. It goes just wide. And then 36, Aaron Long, there's a long, not Aaron Long, but there is a long throw that comes in for Brendan Aronson, but he's unable to finish. And speaking of Aaron Long, you probably heard, unfortunate injury for him, that he wasn't even in the Nations League lineup in this one due to another ACL tear, which he's back in Seattle now after coming from Swansea, that's where that happened. And so that's a real blow to the United States. He was a quality guy, another quality striker. Not striker, but defender. Aaron Long was. But hopefully, as we've seen, the United States can continue to adjust without him. And then we go to the 39th minute in the game where Los Ticos get a free kick in a great position, but it's just horrible taken. This goes into the crowd, Rosette, whatever you want to call it. It's pitiful free kick taken either way. It's not in the back of the net, and it's still 1-0 Yanks. And in the 42nd minute, Daryl DK gets a well-timed breakaway and scores. Yanks go up 2-0, and basically you have to watch out for Daryl DK in this one. He's real potent one-on-one. We saw this with Northern Ireland, although he couldn't really finish his chances. But this game, he did get a one-on-one. He redeemed himself from the Northern Ireland game and scores. And now, speaking of Daryl Dike, we really got to keep an eye on him this summer. There are a lot of questions regarding where he might end up, maybe in the future, or as he returned to Orlando City after his loan expired with English side championship Barnsley. And so he's back at Orlando City now, but rumor has it that he will be going back to Europe very, very soon. And so just keep your eyes peeled on him, and I hope he plays during the Gold Cup. I mean, he will be really great to see and just watch, as he was great today. And then we go to the first minute of stoppage time. Brendan Harrison just cuts up the Costa Rican defense, crosses into Yannis Musa, but he can't tap it in, and that would have been a golazo. I mean, this was another, almost like a Gio Reyna almost goal against Honduras in the semifinal in the Nations League, but both of those were missed, but those were both possible golazos. Brendan Harrison was just having fun. He was having a field day during the first minute of stoppage time with the Costa Rican defense. Unfortunately, though, he can't finish it. But it's still 2-0 Yanks. Then we go into halftime, but for the most part, the Yanks are getting everything and anything they want against this Costa Rican side. Although Costa Rica did have a few good looks, the Yanks just had more, and they just continued to shine and really passed once again the test. And then we go to the 51st minute where Yannis Musa just shimmies his way through into the box. Has a hit, but it goes left. Nice try from him, but unfortunately he didn't hit the target. 52nd minute, Reggie Cannon gets a giveaway from the Costa Rican defense. Just crisscrosses the Ticos D, slots it into the bottom right, and then it's another goal for the Ticos. For the Yanks, not the Ticos. And there's absolutely nothing the Ticos keeper can do about it. 3-0 Yanks, and Reggie Cannon scores his first international goal for the Yanks. And then the 59th minute, Reggie Cannon again also has another look, but this time coming from a corner. It's saved brilliantly by Los Ticos keeper. And then we jump all the way basically to the final action of the game, the 75th minute, where there's a penalty for the United States. As Gio Reyna is brought down, Gio steps up to take it himself and scores. He's cool, calm, collective, whatever you like. It's 4-0 Yanks. And he also becomes the youngest U.S. men's national team player to score from the spot. And basically, the USA were all over Los Ticos this game. And the game ends. Yanks win it 4-0. They passed the test. Stats as follows: 11 shots to the USA. Only 8 for Costa Rica. And they're not far in the shots, but USA gets more shots. 5 of those shots for the United States are on target, while 2 for Costa Rica. United States wins the possession battle 65% to 35%. United States also completes 572 passes, while Los Ticos complete 306 passes. United States has 89% pass accuracy, while Costa Rica has 85% pass accuracy. And then the United States had 13 fouls. Costa Rica had more, 18 fouls. Each team had 1 yellow card each. There were no red cards. United States had 1 offside, and Costa Rica had 2 offside. And the Yanks just dominated the set pieces in terms of corners. They had 5. Costa Rica had none. And basically, once again, the United States did a very good job this game as kind of their final game for this squad in particular, from what we'll see, regardless of until we see the CONCACAF World Cup qualifier in September, where that's going to be a brutal stretch of games coming up for this A team, I should say. But basically, we in terms of the test, right? The whole reason why the United States played another CONCACAF opponent or any team, any friendly after this was just basically to kind of have them pat the test, right? The test was Berhalter was trying to see if the United States won the Nations League game, which they did. How would they bounce back, I guess, or even just channel all that emotion, come off that such emotional high, and try and grind out a result, or just get another result. Because this was going to be like another simulation of what World Cup qualifying is going to be like. Let's say if the United States had a huge win down in Costa Rica or Honduras, they would have to bounce back and try and win another game at home against Panama or whoever's going to come out of the future groups. But it's just a whole practice, it seems, of what's coming up for simulation for this United States men's national team. But after watching this game, even watching them pass the test, and they had a successful international break for the Nations League and the friendly, and it all started with the loss to Switzerland, but after what I saw this past entire stretch of games, United States really learned from that game. It seems like, and they really gained some momentum going into World Cup qualifying in September. But one question that this does bring up was basically, does this result give you you a confidence with the United States men's soccer team and the upcoming schedule with World Cup qualifying? And basically, it was kind of a good test, but you know you can never really match the exact with World Cup qualifying because it's in its own category. So we're just gonna have to wait and see for September if they take this momentum from this international break and just apply that to September and throughout the whole entire winter. Even I think as World Cup qualifying is going to be going on, we'll see if they're in good shape or not. But overall, yes, and they did. Winning this game also meant something huge as they beat all three of their main CONCACAF rivals too: Costa Rica, Honduras, and of course L3. But given that, also you can also say L3 and Costa Rica were kind of, especially L3 without Chicharito during the Nations League finals, they didn't have him. But Costa Rica today, they didn't really have their keeper Navas and their attacker Ruiz. Which those two, if they had those two, maybe would have been a better game for them, definitely. And keep in mind, Costa Rica's form is also pretty. They haven't been really good lately. Los Ticos have lost I think now the past 11 straight, and they really got to get something going down there, and really got to find some momentum, get their confidence back, and really bounce back for this World Cup qualifying in September. And but we'll see what their head coach and even their whole administration does. But yeah, basically the next competition for the United States as a whole is the Gold Cup, of course. But as we know, most likely the United States will be playing a more domestic type squad, like more so MLS focused, rather than what we saw in the Nations League. And kind of, Borhalter's doing this to kind of allow the 18 players to reunite and really build better bonds with their clubs in Europe and elsewhere. But and this one is kind of like if you could also see it as a tryout in a way for the Gold Cup for MLS side for whoever's trying to crack that overall main squad, which looks like it's going to have a mix of CONCACAF, or the A team players, and which is the European players, and then the domestic MLS side players. But then again, that's something I really don't understand right now. Is if you have a lineup that is all playing at the top level, why do we need to have MLS pieces? I mean, I know that it's kind of good to show off where the league is at, right? But if you have a team that can already get stuff done, like as we saw with Mexico, then why put MLS? Why do we need to put MLS players in there? I no, but not making MLS look bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Not trying to say MLS is bad or behind, but if you have players clearly playing at the higher levels, why bring in MLS players? Why bring in players that are playing at kind of the average or not even the highest levels when you can easily if you're trying to especially qualify for a World Cup, you want to put your best players out there, right? But that's something I don't have a say in, of course. I'll probably never understand, but the U.S. administration apparently just wants to see, I guess, 3 or 4, maybe even 6 MLS players in there. But I don't agree with it, but whatever. As long as they qualify for the 2022 World Cup, I'll forget about it. But basically, yeah, that's it for this test. They passed. They were able to keep their emotions controlled and put 4 passes. Really, although they haven't been in form lately, the not too bad Tico's team. But this is pretty good. And of course, that really wrapped up a powerful and really great week for friendlies in just terms of CONCACAF competition. And that really hopefully gives them momentum going into that World Cup qualifying sequence against more CONCACAF teams in September. Now, next up, I have a U.S. women's national team versus Portugal tomorrow. And that's going to be just another friendly, but I think a tune-up game for the women's team, basically getting ready for the Olympics. and we'll see how they do. And before I leave, too, I also want to say thank you guys for the growth that we've seen in this channel. Like, we've reached past 10 subs, and I really did not expect it to grow this fast. But I appreciate all the generosity and basically the likes and stuff. You guys really show some support, and it's really mind blowing, to be honest. And so I think this channel's only been a week old now, or maybe less than that, but it's growing, and I think you got a lot of people liking this content. They're liking what they've seen, and so for that, I guess in a celebration, I was thinking about doing about like a 10 sub special, and I was thinking maybe I could read and even analyze an article, which was, I had one in mind, was regarding an interesting one, was Tata Martino, which is the current Mexican manager. He really wanted the U.S. job before the U.S. kind of turned him away, and then now he went to L3. But I can read that one and basically analyze, and we can make all kinds of what ifs and make all kinds of, I guess, fantasies or questions regarding what would happen. What would this United States men's soccer team been like if they did hire Tata Martino, which was the former head coach of Atlanta United. You saw that he brought really success there. As they're after their first or second year of expansion team, they won an MLS Cup, and that was a big deal for MLS, as most teams could not do that, especially as an expansion teams. But they really just raised the bar for the league and as a whole ever since he came in. But yeah, that was one article I was thinking about analyzing for a 10 sub special, but I'll leave it in you guys too. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments section. There's also been a request last year, I guess, for me to react to a movie trailer. But I guess in terms of reacting to other videos, I don't know how I would set that up. Like, I know some people, they have a screen in the top left or top right corner. I still have to try and figure that out if I were going to do that. There's also been recently a Q&A request, but he's got to see where the demand's at on there. So if you guys want to see that, comment down below. But yeah, other than that, yes, this channel is growing really fast, and it makes me so happy to see the progress, the amount of progress that's going into this channel every day. But for now, that is it. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends that the Yanks, you got to watch out for them. Watch out for the Yanks.